Hello and welcome to the Dolphin Radio Show. I'm your host, the porpoise with a purpose and the face for radio. Now that Vidcon is over, I'd like to talk about some of the takeaway of the past week or so, and I've brought along ChairView to talk with me. Plus, we'll be talking with you in the chat, so let's buckle up, strap on, or in, and get started.
Everybody do it with me. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Ah!
Oh, yeah. It was a good week. I was really encouraged with all the events of the week.
Really? The Polygon thing encouraged you?
No, honestly, I honestly don't really even want to give that more attention than it needs, because that's one of those situations where it's gonna get blown out of proportion, and the more people
the Polygon thing has already the writer of the Polygon thing has already blown it out of proportion, because that article isn't like it's a lot worse than what Anita had said.
Oh yeah, no, I read it and I saw I saw a lot of the reviews on it, and that's
especially the Dave Cullen shit. It's like holding Sargon responsible for what Dave says on his channel is stupid.
Yes, for the record, I encourage my audience not to harass anybody.
Obviously,
but
but remember.
But I also point out that I ain't no one's master, so do as you will.
But remember, if you tell people not to harass, that's not a good enough excuse now, apparently.
Honestly, I think telling people not to harass is a good way to get them to do it. They're gonna be like, "Oh, you ain't telling me what not to do." No.
Well, that was my point that I made too. Is that even if you tell them what to do, they're still responsible for their own actions.
Yep.
You know, unless someone has your family held hostage, and then you have to find them.
You're talking about liberals, the same people that want to blame the gun for killing the guy. You know.
Well, what else is going on this week besides the stupid?
Oh, a lot of great interactions. Like, this whole year for me has been all about trying to connect with people and build bridges, and I've been talking about that, and it seems like up until about a week ago, everything was going in the opposite direction. You had the whole Lacey and Chris Ray Gun thing going on, which everybody got really ideologically, I don't know, anchored in their positions.
Well, the one good thing that I could say, like, it's too bad you weren't at VidCon, because VidCon seemed to be this year like this place. That's why I'm talking about healing on my stream tonight, because it seemed like for the most part VidCon was like a place of healing, where like you've never seen the two sides like this get along like that. Since I've been on YouTube for the last year and a half anyway, and been watching it before that, I never saw like that much unity happening. Well, things are starting to change. They really are.
Yeah, well, out of all the panels and information I've heard, like on the harassing panels that were there, the women in gaming and all that, and
I did feel bad for Boogie though, because
that was what I was going to say. Boogie was probably the best one. He actually brought up a Louis C.K. quote, and he was pointing out that when you send people texts and tweets that are mean, you don't see their face, you don't catch the reaction, you just you send it off, and you're like, yeah, I got them on that one, and then they send you back something that makes you mad, and so you get mad and you send back something even meaner.
For you know how Jeff Hall is, YouTube Saints or whatever. Friggin', I was just hearing on the stream I was watching that they're getting Stanhope. Wizard of Cause said that they're getting Doug Stanhope. It's fucking insane.
I have no idea who that is.
He's a fairly well-known stand-up comedian, and he's a really strange guy though. His wife is like really mentally out of it, like she's weird. But he's this guy that like just drinks a lot, and they have like this weird relationship where they basically fuck other people, and he doesn't give a fuck because he's done so much coke and and drinks so much that his dick doesn't work anymore.
I'm not really sure if I would, joke about that or even mention it.
No, he does all the time. That's what I'm saying. Like that's how people know about it, because he brings it up all the time. He doesn't care. But he's got this house in Bisbee, Arizona. He advertises it all the time, and people go there and show up at his house, and he just says, "Yeah, come on in." And they got a bar, and they just have a party. He's a fun guy. He's a little odd, but he's a funny comedian. So, and they if they got a big name on that, it's gonna be huge. But that's how you know that like those guys are doing really well now. But they are doing a fundraiser to keep Dankula out of prison.
Yeah, I saw that. That was interesting. I would say Dankula not only needs to be released from prison, but let's get him enough so that he can emigrate out of that.
He's there right now. I don't know how long he's out for until the court trial goes. It goes to trial or whatever. But he was saying while he was in jail, they were asking him what he's in for, and he was telling them, and they're like laughing their ass off. But yeah, that's kind of crazy that's going on. That's weird.
It'll be interesting when we reach that breaking point where the jails are filled with normal citizens and a handful of murderers and rapists, and the real world is filled with completely helpless, worthless, useless people.
I don't know. Does teaching your pug how to do a Nazi salute count as free speech?
I don't know. I think intent matters. I mean, it matters if you're a Clinton, so it should matter here,
I suppose. But yeah, it's just like there's so much. Like, okay, for example, here in the story of, Lacey and Sargon apologizing and Lacey like crying and everything else. It's like you wouldn't have expected that, Like there's a lot of healing that took place, and I think there's a lot of interesting conversations to look forward to in the future. Like, Worski having Francesca on and talking to her and stuff,
That, yeah, I got to be honest. When I see Lacey talking to Chris, I get it, and basically everybody else, I got to say that I see a lot of sincerity in it, because I see her going through a lot of the kind of things that I went through when I went from being liberal to, what I am now.
Yeah, but what kind of boyfriend doesn't know that his girlfriend doesn't like mayonnaise, though?
I'm just gonna let it's a good thing that we're not at VidCon, because I'd have slapped you for that one.
No, they were just discussing it on the stream. He goes, so after she liked mayonnaise, and he goes, mayonnaise is the best, and she's like, oh, it's disgusting, or whatever, and then they were discussing what kind of sandwich she would have, and she said she didn't eat sandwiches, and that she would have a turkey one, and then they were arguing about what to put on it. She's like, I don't know, the stuff that you put on sandwiches. It's like she's never done life before.
I tend to think that a lot of people in her particular
but to be fair,
group,
stuck sheltered in the Mormon thing growing up, it's kind of
the chat's working, kind of, sort of.
So yeah, you end up kind of sheltered being in the Mormons and stuff. So
yeah, that's right. She did grow up Mormon, didn't she?
Yeah, that's why Skippo was trying to get her on Friday.
Yeah, you were going to try and get her on for an LDS stream. I don't know if she's going to be willing to do that right now. I think her plate's fairly full, and she's got a few sitting in the back.
Because of the date. She said that the date was the reason why she couldn't do it. So, but that's promising.
Like I said, that makes sense. She, it's a near date, and she's got a lot of interaction. She just cleared her plate with Sargon. They can actually have really good discussions now, and I don't see why that wouldn't happen. And you've got Francesca.
Did you hear that article trying to make it like a horror movie?
What was it?
That article trying to make it sound like a horror movie. The camera pans slowly.
Oh yeah.
So dramatic. But yeah, like great. All those interactions, and to think that Lacey and Chris were the catalyst.
I would like to hope that Francesca is sincere.
She looks she's joking around with him and everything, so she seems okay.
I think she's been on the verge. I think she's been on the verge of doing this, and I think that when Lacey did it, she didn't really know if that was like the signal for her to go next.
Yeah.
But I think she's decided after VidCon that this is the signal for me to step up next.
Even like ContraPoints.
ContraPoints.
Yeah. Well,
what about?
Okay, there's a picture with ContraPoints. ContraPoints is wearing like the ironic, triggered shirt, right? Okay, so she's wearing the trigger shirt, and she's sitting at a table with Armored Skeptic and June and a bunch of other people, and like they're pretending to hold knives up to each other,
Yeah, you should take that picture and label it "Threats of Violence." I made a little sculpture way back before I started my YouTube channel, because I do a lot of
do you know his name? The guy from the stupid what's all your deal with skulls? That guy? Can't remember his name. He was there too. He was in that picture too.
What's your deal with Skull? Oh, was that one of those like 25 questions for anti-feminists?
Yeah. That's what was weird about that guy being there and interacting with those people. Like, it's just weird. It's just like in a place like that when you get together, it's like, wow, it's like.
Hey, for anybody watching, I'd like to apologize. YouTube's chat option is really going haywire today, and it keeps.
Someone said, I heard on Wizard Causes stream, someone had said that if you go to the gaming thing, you can see the chat better. I don't know.
Gaming thing? I don't know.
Yeah, YouTube, gaming.youtube.com or whatever.
I'm not really sure that. I want to go through gaming. I would think that'd be a much more heavily trafficked server. I'm just going to keep refreshing.
Yeah, I know. It's like, maybe if you do a pop-out chat, it might work better. I don't know.
That would be an idea. But back on the subject of VidCon and post-VidCon, I was talking with a bunch of people, and if VidCon's not going to stand by its rules because people... by the way, I'm just going to say for the record, let's be honest, Matt and Hank Green were... Yeah. Or Mike and Hank Green, they were never, ever going to stand against anybody on the left. They were never going to take action against any liberal.
The part that bugs me is they're basically implying that next year they're not going to allow any video cameras, you know?
Well, no. You know what's... I've just got the ultimate solution. We just start ShitCon.
Yep.
ShitCon 2018. ShitCon 27, you know?
For sure.
And ShitCon doesn't necessarily have to be a big official public event. It doesn't have to be a convention. You could have a ShitCon every 5-6 weeks. Just connect with your local shit posters.
But they're complaining in the article about the people, with their cell phones out and recording stuff and whatever. And a lot of them are recording for posterity's sake, not to make fun of her. Like, she's like, oh, they're doing it to harass me. And like, what I find really funny is she's up there trying to speak for people like Francesca. And meanwhile, Francesca at VidCon was like super friendly to everyone. She didn't feel threatened or harassed by like Sargon and stuff.
It goes back to what I was saying earlier. When you're tweeting at people and you're saying mean things, you don't see the reaction on their face that makes you feel bad. So you just keep being meaner and meaner. And when you see people in real life at places like VidCon and whatnot, you can't just walk up and be like, kill yourself. You can't do that. That's
and bringing a group of friends that all have similar ideologies to you and like your YouTube content or whatever. Bringing your friends in there is not like somehow a threat. Like, they just wanted to sit together. That's not a crime.
Honestly, these are some of the most well-known people at this convention. Whether you like them or not, they're incredibly well-known. And by the way, Matt and Hank, if everybody has their cell phones out, everybody's safer.
That's why they were recording it, though, because they knew something was going to go down, probably.
So saying we're going to have, we're going to make sure that certain people we don't like don't show up, and we're going to restrict cell phone usage, and then we're going to call it a public event. Look, if you want to hold a Nazi or a communist march or rally or whatever it is that you want to hold, Matt and Hank, go ahead and do it, but call it what it is.
Well, and then the excuse that, we didn't let certain people in because they got famous really quickly and we didn't have time to feature them and stuff. What about the guy who got chased at the fountain? That guy has become famous on YouTube after like 3 months.
Yeah, I think that's a matter of security, understanding how to manage crowds and hiring security that will and can manage crowds. I mean, look, if you guys want to run a convention, you need to do some research. You need to go to conventions where they have mass numbers of people. I think you've got Comic-Con. It's right there in your hometown. Comic-Con is one of the biggest conventions ever. And if you go there and pay attention to how they run it, how they operate, and what they mean when they say equal treatment, then maybe you'll be able to run an effective convention that people aren't making fun of for weeks after.
Well, what's funny is in Toronto they held one recently, and it was like in the same convention center next door. They had the conservative leadership race going on. So people were showing up in like one building. They had the politicians, and then right next door they had the VidCon. It was kind of funny. Not VidCon, or the Comic-Con thing or whatever. Yeah. So they had all these selfies taken with all these politicians and stuff. So it was kind of funny.
Can you imagine them doing VidCon in a place like I don't know, like
the DNC next door?
Or Chicago or something. Oh my God, they should do VidCon Chicago.
Yeah.
The YouTube community half of them would be right wing by the end of the convention.
You use that word again.
Oh no, he described a situation by a set of words that describes that situation. Whatever shall we do?
I know, it's pretty insane. But like, I just didn't like the dishonesty of the article, so I had to tear it apart, of course. And when Polygon tweeted out and said, "Oh yeah, I gotta find that tweet because the way they worded it is just so fucking funny." And everybody's trolling them now in the responses, right?
I'm surprised they haven't switched over to auto response. Or do they have people managing their accounts? I'm sure they have people managing.
So I responded to that tweet with my video.
Yeah, like they're gonna watch the video.
No, people in the thread might.
Yeah, that's true. It's always true. But no, other great takeaways is that I mean, just the idea of in my mind, my biggest takeaway was the value of in real life interactions versus these types of live streams and talks. And sometimes you have like a guy like Kraut who's in Germany, and a guy like Sargon in England, a guy like Michael Rowlands in New Zealand, a guy like Bering in Australia.
Well, I did have a good laugh today because when I was reading that thing and I was like, oh, what's it called? Gamergate is a hate group. I'm like, what?
Yeah, they're just gonna keep pushing that narrative, aren't they?
It was just so funny to hear that. Like, a hate group? How? What do they hate? What do they hate? Besides women.
They hate it when you open the package, you asshole.
Yeah.
Why would you open the package? That's a classic figurine. Yeah.
Shut up. Apparently I'm going back to my apartment on Friday, but we'll see. The stupid inspector, they keep moving the date that they're supposed to inspect the elevator. They claim it's tomorrow at noon. If they do, I might be home on Friday, but if not, it's Canada Day this weekend, so wouldn't be home back at my house until Tuesday. But yeah.
Speaking of Canada, your prime minister sure can't dance around a question, can he?
Yeah. or he'll just answer really simply and go, because it's 2017.
No, I saw this wonderful thing where he's supposed to be meeting with the ethics commissioner, and they had like 9 or 10 people in Parliament ask him how many times have you met with it, and he kept just giving the same like pre-written speech where he didn't answer the question and danced around it, and then started talking about political party platform points.
Oh, Minty Fox, what did you say to get banned temporarily?
You should invite her in. Yeah, if she can't have her
how can you be suspended from Twitter? Is it just some feature that they suspend? Is that what they do?
You know what they need? They need to have a Twitter convention. Then maybe all these shit posters could get together and be like, yeah, I'm sorry. And then I'll just hug it out,
Oh, yeah, she has 2 accounts. I forgot.
No one would see it, but we could all get their tweets.
I'll give her the link and see if she's busy.
So F is for Family has been renewed for season 3 at Netflix, which is awesome. Because if you look at cartoons written for adults, you've got like, I would say Futurama at the very bottom, the tamest, absolute tamest. And slightly above that is Family Guy. Slightly above that is South Park. A little bit higher up, and you're starting to hit Archer territory. And
what about
BoJack Horseman?
BoJack Horseman, yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, but then like if you go 10 paces up, and then jump, you reach F is for Family.
What about the Aqua Teens?
Oh no, they're down amongst Futurama, or not Futurama, but Archer, BoJack Horseman.
Yeah, that's a really good show, though. It really is. You know, I used to watch it back in the day. I bought one of the season DVDs once. My friend's like, "Why are you buying that?" Because it's Shake and Frylock, man. That's why.
Forget
about Meatwad. I don't like him. And Carl. I can't forget Carl.
Oh God, no. Boondocks was in there too. I think Boondocks. Was pretty awesome show. But yeah, they got renewed for a third season. So my advice is if you have
Bill
kids,
Burr was a kid to feed, so you know.
If you have kids, send them out of state before you start watching that show. It's just the good parenting advice of the week.
Yeah, but you know, because of Mia's influence, that his writing eventually is going to turn on SJW or some bullshit.
Oh, you know what? That reminds me. I need to go ahead and do my ads. This episode of the Dolphin Radio Show is brought to you by ShitCon 2017. It's not a real thing unless we make it one. And by fake advertising. When fake news just isn't enough, take a page out of my book, CNN, and fill your airtime with fake ads.
And also, today's letter of the day is J, and today's word of the day is joint.
The number today is 420. ChairView's channel, by the way, you can catch his channel. There's a link in the description below. He makes some really crappy content that nobody ever watches, so you should join that group of people that don't watch.
Totally.
Wait.
But to be fair,
I didn't put enough negatives in that to make it positive.
But to be fair, my mental health stream tonight, I am going to be asking for donations, and I'm going to donate it to Movember Canada.
Movember Canada. I don't know, man.
What?
I don't know if I want to send any money to Canada, whatever it is.
It's a men's rights org. They do more than just a Movember thing. It's all year round, but you can give them donations and stuff, and it's for men's rights. So, but you know, men's health and stuff like that. So
yeah,
since like JT is feeling down about the BSCM thing, I figure at least something, and maybe he could raffle games off, and then, to get people to donate to some men's charity, at least some kind. Because I mean, it is that's quite an undertaking. Usually, a thing like that would be years, right? If you're going to plan a thing like that, a big biking thing in Australia and whatever, usually it's years of planning, right, and training and all that.
Yeah, well, I mean, I have a couple of posters and content creators here in the South that I was talking to. And we have this giant sci-fi fantasy convention that goes on every year in September called DragonCon. And I think something around the city almost triples in population for a whole weekend. And that's what I was saying. If you're going to run VidCon, then you need to go look at these other conventions, because these guys at DragonCon, they do it right. They're not the nicest security in the world, but they get the job done. Nobody's swarming anybody.
The last convention I went to was it was like the everything to do with sex show.
Yep. Okay, I'm not really sure what convention that was. Are you sure it was a convention and not just a strip bar?
No, it's actually a convention where they have they have a dungeon area, which I never went to, by the way. I didn't go near that. But they're selling all kinds of products and stuff like that,
Yeah, you're like, I'm helpless enough. Don't take my chair.
Yeah, I don't want to be on the cross. Anyway,
all right, then climb down.
Yeah, but yeah, there's all kinds of stuff. It's not all kinky shit either. Some of it was just educational, some of it was whatever. But it was something to do at the time. We have
a lot of content creators coming in for this big other convention that's actually sanctioned, and I was talking to them when we were talking about having a shit poster meet and greet where we all get together in real life, have a few beers and laughs, and maybe pull out a camera or two, get some raw footage, and call it ShitCon 2017, where all the important people showed up.
Well, I gotta get everybody down. I gotta get everybody to come down this way.
Nobody's going to Canada, man. Sorry.
Sure they will.
I'm sure you can get Canadians. Well, some of them, but most of even those people don't want to go to Canada.
Yeah. Whatever you say.
It's cold, man.
Not right now. It's not right now. It's like what, 76?
That's not cold to you?
No, I keep the heat. I keep my furnace in here on at like 77 degrees. So no. Normally
Okay.
it's freezing, but you know.
Yeah.
Oh, and then the woman who's in charge of like the PSWs or whatever, the support workers, was in here telling us, "Oh, we think we're gonna go home Friday," and I was saying, "Oh, I was gonna say something like, oh, it's good to know or whatever," and she's like, "I don't have time for any back chat or blah 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 and all this stuff," and when she's leaving the room, I'm just like, "You don't have to be a bitch about it." I don't think she liked that very much, but I wonder. I don't know if she heard me say "go suck a dick" or something, but I did add that on the end there.
Yeah, I'm sure she.
It was supposed to be "go suck it," as in "go suck a dick." You need to calm down and relax. I should have been like, "Go have a Snickers."
You're a lot less angry with a Snickers. This particular live stream contains absolutely no paid advertising, but if the people that I've advertised would like to pay, just throwing it out there.
Yeah, all two of you.
I think we actually have like, a couple of viewers.
I don't know, the chat's probably not being accurate. I don't think the chat's ever accurate about,
actual viewers.
Yep. Ooh, Dolphin. If someone searches for Dolphin Radio, you're the third result now, apparently.
Good stuff.
I like randomly. I think just for fun,
I think it's going to be a slow week. I think a lot of content creators are coming back and winding down. I think that there's a lot of live streams that are probably going to be, pushed back or maybe delayed. And people are like, man, I threw out 4 live streams in 3 days while I was at VidCon. Shut up and leave me alone.
And by the way, Cog, if you happen to see this later, anchovies on pizza are disgusting. Stop posting pictures of it.
Chair?
Yeah.
I'm going to need you to leave the stream now. And I can't speak to you anymore.
Oh, why is that? Because I think anchovies are gross?
Yeah, that's actually 100% the reason. I thought we could be friends. I really did.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, I mean, everything else is cool, but...
I didn't say I hated dolphin meat. Come on.
Now you're crossing a line. Now that's it right there. What are you, Japanese? What the hell's wrong with you, dolphin meat?
I don't know. Never tried it. It's probably not that good.
Yeah, I guess a bird will eat anything. My mother has I guess a parrot. No, it's a conure, which is a small parrot. Not a parakeet, but legit, bird that sits on your shoulder and all that. This bird's favorite food in the whole world is chicken wings, and my mom will get chicken wings and she'll share with her bird. And the first time I ever saw it, I was just baffled. It was like, that thing's a cannibal. That is a terrible creature. Why would it do that?
Lauren Southern just posted this thing. It says, "How to be alone forever, step 1." It's a picture of this girl. It says, Bianca, 23. If the phrase "men are trash" upsets you, swipe left. If you don't call your bros out for rape jokes or general misogyny, swipe left. Oh, I'd be swiping right on that shit. Just piss her off,
Oh, wow. I just saw a picture of Dave Rubin sitting next to a blow-up doll stormtrooper. That's interesting. I mean, I know he's gay, but you're kind of getting a little kinky there, buddy. Public figure.
You got to spice up your life once in a while,
I guess so, but all things being equal, I'm kind of glad that VidCon is over. Now we can get back to regular work.
Maybe YouTube is blocking people from chatting because they know they're all going to be streaming about the situation. Or maybe there's just way too many people viewing different VidCon streams because we got Jeff Holidays, we got Wizard of Cause going on, we got especially the Lisa Green one. It's like not that many, but it's like 6,000 people. But
that's where my other viewer is. They're watching another stream.
Did you see the viewers? How many viewers there were on Joe Rogan interviewing Sargon?
No, I didn't see that. I'm gonna have to check it out.
There's over 9,000. No, there's like a lot of fucking viewers. There's like 20,000 people watching. I don't know if Joe Rogan ever had that many while he was live. You know what I mean? I don't know if he's ever had that many for a podcast while he's live. And it was a really good discussion. And what's funny is someone on Twitter had tweeted at him and said, "You need to get him on there because he's going to be in town." And I guess what's his name? Red Band there. His Rogan's assistant. He does all the legwork, right? Brian Redband, yeah. So he's the one that gets all the guests usually, I think. So he probably saw it and thought it was a good idea. You know?
Yeah, that thing's going to get rehashed for the next week or so, and then from now on, when there's an anti-feminist feminist argument, it's going to be inserted in there. And Anita's going to get a bunch more videos made about her, and then she's going to get all popular and famous again. She's going to be happy and content to hide in her house with her hundreds of thousands of dollars.
You know that's why she did this whole thing, right? Because she's smart enough to know that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. No press is bad press, and no press is bad press.
Because her current show that she's doing isn't as popular as she's hoping. Well, maybe it's not popular because you called it the bathroom battlefield, and not one single video clip that you use takes place in a bathroom with a trans person. So I should make fun of her video where she does that and just use like clips from Saw in the bathroom.
I don't know. I think if you go in a completely opposite direction, you show roofing being done, you're like, how is this bathroom going to help?
If I show what?
Like roofing being done?
Yeah.
Or some guy like cutting down a tree in a deep forest. Yeah. Like, bathrooms are an important part of our lives. Show nothing that even looks like a bathroom or goes anywhere near a bathroom.
Yeah. Yeah, I should. That'll be hilarious. Just like some
picture of a big gas station that says no public restrooms.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. In a world where people are worried about what bathroom people can go into, based on how they identify, exactly who is the business that has no public restrooms oppressing?
Themselves? Their employees?
Their customers? It's customer oppression.
Well, most businesses nowadays have them because they know. Or like if they have a bathroom, they'll be like, "You pay first." And then, do you ever wonder why gas stations give this big, gigantic key with this big, huge block of wood attached to it?
We don't. I've been around the country, so I've seen this, yes, but we don't have those where I am. And if we do, they're open for like 6 months, and then they shut down because nobody ever stops at that gas station.
Yeah.
But those are usually also the gas stations that you can go to buy illicit materials.
Yeah. Oh, I know what I'll do. I'll find a clip of a guy tapping his foot on the floor in the bathroom. You know, the gay signal.
Oh, by the way, so YouTube has now got or they did, I think it was yesterday, they had the great gay pride flag.
Yeah.
And I noticed that it just had the normal rainbow colors on it.
How dare they? That's so
I know, right?
Oppressive to trans people. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you think about this? I'm going to be covering this article, but CBC News was reporting that. Okay, so Black Lives Matter Toronto a few months ago decided to ban uniformed police officers from their parades.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Why? I don't know. But the cops could still come. They would just show up in the uniform.
They didn't ban them from the parades. They asked them not to come in uniform.
Yeah. But now Black Lives Matter in New York City is being inspired by them and has decided to do the same thing.
Well, here's my thing is, if you're gay and you're marching in a parade and you're offended by somebody saying, "I'm here, I'm a cop, get used to it," then you haven't been listening to yourself.
Well, especially if they're gay cops. You know, and what about the village people? Excuse me, but the village people, come on. Like, how disrespectful to them.
I'm going to go ahead and say this because I've never actually, I think, expressed my full opinion on the police of this nation. there are some really crappy ones, and I don't think that there's anybody in this country or in many other countries who would deny that the job of police officer can and does attract some of the worst humans in the world.
Yeah.
But the vast majority, please let me. The vast majority of them are actually really good people. They believe in your freedom of speech. They believe in your rights. They believe in your. They don't want to hurt you. They don't want to oppress you, and they honestly don't want to arrest you and cite you. They just want to, do a job and get paid. And if they can do that with minimal conflict, they will. Unfortunately, they are not allowed to keep their job if they don't interact with X number of people, write X number of citations, and arrest X number of people.
Yeah.
On a set time period, and they'll deny that these quotas exist, but it's because they call them performance evaluation metrics. And what it is they're saying, we don't know if we have this cop clock in at 8 a.m. and then clock out at 6 p.m. and we put him in a squad car and send him out for the day. How do we know he's not just going home, playing video games for 10 hours and coming back and clocking out? No, we use those arrest numbers and stuff to make sure that he's out there, because we know how long it takes to make an arrest. We know how long it takes to do a citation. And if he has XX and X, Y, and Z, then we know that he was working the whole time.
Just wait till I do my in-depth analysis of good cop, bad cop.
Yeah. I'm not really going to go into that. But on the other side of that, you have politicians that get themselves like mayors, that get themselves elected by saying, look at my crime stats. Arrests went up 18% during my tenure, and we got all these bad people off the streets. Well, it's those quotes and those demands for number and that need for those numbers that gives the police officers those quotas. So when you hear a politician saying, I'm tough on crime, what he's saying is, we're going to make the policeman your enemy. He's going to be tough on crime so he can get his numbers up, so he can get reelected on that tough on crime argument. And the way he's going to do that is by telling the police to make more arrests, write more citations, and interact with more people. And for the police officer, you're stuck between a rock and a hard place, because you can either pay your rent or you can arrest this guy that you found a dime bag of weed on. And I'm sorry, if I was the cop in that situation, you're going to jail. And a lot of people say, well, you don't have to be a cop. Yeah, well, it's actually a very easy job to get if you don't have a whole lot of other skills, if you're former military and are used to that kind of lifestyle. It's a profession that a lot of people like. A lot of people want to do that because there's rewarding moments as well.
I just noticed this thing. Okay, I was trying to wonder with this video the first time I saw it, why the cops in it were black, right? Well, the reason is that apparently in this video, the good cop is the black cop, and the bad cop, of course, is the white guy.
By the way, if anybody hears this and you haven't checked out Mike the Cop on YouTube, check out Mike the Cop. He has the greatest avatar of anybody ever presenting themselves as a cop, and he's hilarious. Also,
go back old school and check out the retarded policeman.
There's a retarded policeman? I mean, there's a YouTube channel for a retarded
No, the guy makes fun of himself. Okay, the guy has Downs or whatever, but he was in on the joke the whole time, right? And yeah, he called himself the retarded policeman. It would always be funny shit, like he'd pull someone over and be like, hi. They'd be like, hi. Do you know why I pulled you over? He's like, no. Because I want you to come play, because I want you to come over to my house for dinner. And it'd just be like retarded. Or like he drew a picture and it's like some horse or something, and he goes, it's a donkey. And just really ridiculous stuff, and it's just really funny. It's just like he'll pull a guy over with his wife in the car and just be like, she's pretty. But yeah, he was pretty funny back in the day. But yeah.
So kind of like Super Troopers IRL.
The retarded policeman, and then he goes, that's me.
What was that from? There was something else. That's me. Oh, it was Butter. It's Butters. That's me.
Yeah. Butters. I love Butters. What in the butt? when they tricked him to sing that song, that was the best episode in the world.
Oh no! The best episode is the one where Butter's dad, his homosexual secret lifestyle gets discovered.
Oh yeah.
And Butter's mom tries to drive him into the river.
Yeah.
You get to see how truly messed up Butter's life is, and at the same time, how happy his little heart is. Just continue. He's got that whole Joe Dirt mindset.
Did you ever see the drone episode though?
The what?
The episode with the drones or whatever.
No, I didn't.
Okay. So Randy Marsh had this drone right in the garage, and of course Cartman convinces what's his name? Kyle. He convinced Kyle to steal it so he could use it to spy on some girl or something, and then like afterwards after he saw the tape on his drone, he's like, I don't know how this happened or whatever. The drone was just out of gas all of a sudden. He's like, do you ever consider that your son might take it? Oh no, it's in the garage. He knows not to touch it. It couldn't have been him.
Oh God, they did the balloon boy.
Yep.
That's so wrong.
He's like, oh, he knows he's not allowed to touch it. It can't be him. So then they had drones, and then they had police drones, and then they had like neighborhood watch drones, and they were all fighting each other. It was pretty funny.
It must be a newer episode. I haven't really been keeping up with South Park a lot. Like I said, I got stuck on. I'm always stuck on Game of Thrones because they won't put them out fast enough. But I've been stuck on F is for Family and going back through Archer.
Yeah. Yeah, anything that has H. John Benjamin, honestly.
Yeah, H. John Benjamin. I don't know, man. I just love his voice. He's got a great.
Oh, you forgot about Bob's Burgers though. Bob's Burgers is still top of my list. I think for me, it's like Family Guy, Bob's Burgers, and then some of those other ones.
Yeah, the greatest Archer episode ever is the crossover between Archer and Bob's Burgers.
Yeah. Ever seen a show called C-Lab? You ever heard of that one?
Yeah, I've seen it. I think they did an Archer episode based on that as well.
Yeah, Archer's done everything on there. Like the fact that they had the group and they called ISIS and everything. That's hilarious.
Yeah, they had to change the name of their fictional organization though pretty quickly.
Yeah, I know, he's just really funny. But like, they did episodes of Aqua Teen where they had the creator of Aqua Teens or whatever, and then they were in the real world, and it was really fucking weird, and it was just like...
All right, we're getting way off subject.
Okay, so, you're talking about post-Vidcon. What else is there to go over? I don't know.
Well, how do you think that those two retards that run it, what are their names? The Greens, yes. The Greens.
I don't know, are they really lazy?
No, actually, they work for PBS, I think.
No, but what else did Hank Green used to do something on YouTube too? What was it?
Hank and Mike Green both did things on YouTube. They both worked for PBS. They did history, math, that kind of thing. I've had a lot of issues with the Greens for their history series.
Oh, you mean the public begging station?
Yeah. Educational information for children full of lies.
No, occasionally they will have a good little documentary on there, but they interrupt it every 10 seconds to get you to give them money,
Yeah.
Do you remember
the YouTube channel didn't so much do that, but I do remember Sesame Street being constantly interrupted.
Did they have this in the States? The Ultramatic commercials during movies that were on TV or whatever?
Ultramatic?
It's a bed.
Yeah, I know. I wanted to whenever I first heard the word problematic, I so badly wanted to make a bad ad for it.
Remember that old guy with the gray hair in the commercials or whatever, right? It would always be during those stupid movies that were on TV, and it would be like this really ridiculous old people and just being like...
No, I remember the commercials. I was going to base my Problematic off of it, only it wasn't going to be a bed. It was going to be a male sex toy.
I want to do an image. I want to get someone to film me in my chair, and I'll do a hover around commercial. Like I'll use my chair, and I'll just act like it's a hover around. I'll just
No. What we'll do is we'll paint the whole bottom half of your chair green, and we'll sell the first hover round.
Yeah, I don't know what the song is. I know I could get a giant inner tube and put it around the chair, and then
it works on land and sea. Have you like coming in on the beach?
Yes, that sounds like a Filthy Frank episode. Pit my wheelchair too. I wonder why he's never done another one, because that was really awesome.
What was that?
How much of a good sport the kid was and everything. That was the best part. Just this guy like, how am I gonna get the bitches now? And then he like tapes his foot to the thing. But anyway, yeah. As far as what's going on this week, I think that it's an exciting time to be on YouTube, and I think that in the next few months it's going to be interesting to see what kind of collaborations come up.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see if YouTube gets back on board, or if VidMe and Dailymotion finally overtake it. I think that VidCon could go one of two ways, and it really depends on how the company's supporting, the media that all this kind of stuff is based on, respond to it.
Well, VidMe hasn't done like the pay. They haven't got their pay thing set up yet either, so it's just frustrating.
I know they're getting really annoying with that, because they had a golden opportunity and they sat there and twiddled their thumbs on it.
Like, I haven't bothered to apply to be a thing on there yet to make money off it yet, because it's like there's it hasn't taken off as well as they thought it would. Like Dailymotion, it's hard to get seen on. Like, yeah, sure, you can put it on Twitter. Maybe I get a couple hundred views, if that, right? But like, yeah, like I'm sure if YouTube does ever get overtaken or go down or whatever, someone will make a version of it.
Yeah, look, you can't create a vacuum without somebody jumping in to fill it. And there's already people chomping at the bit.
And the Gab.ai experiment isn't going that well either, I don't think. So
no, it's really not, because people aren't logging onto it. People are going to Twitter and going, honestly, hey, I like come talk to me on Gab.
Yeah. I like Gab though. It's kind of cool. Like, it has a larger character limit and everything. So and they don't censor you. And
I'm very fond of the larger character limit. I think what is it, like 350?
Yeah, and it's like the censorship thing on Twitter is getting ridiculous. Like, like all these people getting temporary bans is because they say something bad about Islam. That's why I'm staying away from it. On Twitter, I don't say anything about it because I'm not going to bite the hand that feeds me. I don't want to deal with getting my thousands of followers back again, or the people I follow or whatever. I don't want to have to get them back again. So it's just like, I don't want to deal with that, so I don't bother saying anything about Islam on there.
I don't really care. Twitter, YouTube, AdSense, they don't feed me. I don't worry about that. I've got 2 engineering degrees in different fields. At
the moment, those are feeding me. They're not feeding me well or at all, because I can't take the money out until I reach $100.
Really? Oh,
on your AdSense, yeah.
That's why I've never been shipped my $4.17.
It won't. No, it won't even let you enter your bank account information until you've reached that point where you have $100 in there. I'm at 90. Wow. You know how annoying that is? That for the past like almost year, I've been sitting at $90, and really? And right now I'm earning less than $3 right now after posting all those videos for June. Like,
now is that per month? Is it like a monthly limit, or is it like once you reach $100 lifetime?
No, you need 100 before they let you withdraw it. That's what the rule is, I think. So even the next month, I think you still have to have 100 before you can withdraw it. So
it's a month-to-month basis.
Yeah, and I think I understand why they do that, but still, it doesn't help. I mean, that,
if you're making $99.98 a month, you're basically being robbed. And YouTube is getting ad revenues that they're not paying out as they said they would to the creators.
Like my one on wrestling, okay? I didn't get in trouble from Netflix. They didn't care about the glow thing because that's old and who gives a fuck. And same with but WWE gave a shit when I used Roddy Piper on the thing when it was only like a 5-second clip from the 80s, and it's like he's dead. You know, the guy's dead now, and that was in the 80s. Who cares? You know. So, but I don't know. Like, the one good thing that I can say about the VidCon thing from looking at all these people to try and make the compilation or whatever is that there's quite a few new YouTubers that I'd never heard of, you know, that have that have like thousands and thousands of subs, and I didn't hear about them, and now I do, and I, you know, subscribe to them and everything. So yeah, it allowed me to find new creators and stuff, and that's pretty awesome.
I do like listening to the little guys, especially the ones that nobody's really found yet. And you're like, hey, you have 26 subscribers.
Yeah, I met a guy like that yesterday.
27.
His name was Jakinski. Oh, it's his name is Jack Gunsky, and he is a alien.
I think it's pronounced un-alien. I'm just kidding.
Whatever. He's got this alien guy, and that's his character, and he has 13 subscribers, but he's pretty cool, and he needs more.
13 subscribers?
Yeah.
Curse at a silent.
But he's actually pretty good, so but he's not really getting noticed. It's only had 13 views on it so far, but still, it's like looks promising. He was like me when I first started out, right? But his quality is a lot better than mine when I first started. I had the shittiest mic when I first started, and like production values were just really low, so I didn't keep those videos up because they just look retarded.
Anyway, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap out this video by saying that VidCon was an exciting week. It was a really good week, and I'm glad that people made the connections they do. If you have a chance to meet some of the people that you talk with regularly, take it. You know, and you know, I'm not saying to just go find strangers or anything like that. You know what? Disregard my previous statement. I'm not getting accused as an accomplice. Anyway. As said before, this episode of the Dolphin Radio Show has been, in fact, brought to you by VidCon, and all of its, or I'm sorry, by ShitCon 2017, which is not a real thing unless we make it one, and you definitely can do that. Go check out ChairView's channel; its links in the description below, and don't forget to post something about CNN's fake news tonight, just so that they can watch their stocks stay exactly where they have been.
Yeah.
It's true. They haven't moved at all. Been watching them all day. Kind of pisses me off.
So
anyway, what was that?
Yeah. I was just asking to see anything. What? It's another stage scene?
I don't know. I guess they're just shifting money around to cover the loss. But because it is apparent, like CNN's a subsidiary of Time Warner. So Time Warner owns lots of subsidiaries. They all bring in different money.
For sure.
But also, I'm going to go ahead and close out the show by saying congratulations, Dave Cullen and Bass Mama. You guys are adorable together. You really are. And I expect to see more collabs in the future.
I saw them together. I didn't know they were dating.
They sure as heck look like they are.
Yeah. She's
I'm going to go ahead and read more into it than they probably want me to. Anyway, you guys have a good night, and we'll see you back here next Wednesday. If, you know,
Peace.
Peace.